All right, everyone. Welcome to my final review for Marvel's Echo. And this is episode 5. I gotta say, I was saying, well, the show was getting better each episode. I mean, the episodes still weren't great, but it was getting better than the previous episode. This episode threw all that goodwill that I was trying to give it. I was trying to be nice. It threw it out the window. This episode was really bad and really damaging to one character in particular. Um, but I'll get into that when I get into the negatives. We're gonna start off with the positives, and as I've gone through this, I always say the positives and the negatives. I tend to give like a synopsis of the show, more or less, of the episode, I should say. So we're kind of gonna do that, keep doing that. But I'm gonna give the positives, and just being honest, there weren't many. There was two, which in the worst, but yeah, it's pretty bad. There was a lot of negatives in this show, in this episode, and this show in general too. Um, and also before I give the positives at the end of this review, I'm going to give like a general, uh, my general thoughts on the show in general, and I'll give the show like a rating out of 10. You know. All right. Into the positives. So, the one positive is oh, one second. Oh, sorry about that. I had to sneeze. But we show that the grandfather is still a pretty good person. The grandma comes to his repair shop, pawn shop. I don't really know what his shop is. I think it's a pawn shop, but anyway, she comes over there because she wants her sewing machine so she can fix up the suit for Maya. This wonderful suit that grandma made. So she wants her sewing machine if he still had it. And he did. He kept it for her because she means that much to him. And, they kind of have a nice little exchange. And, it's kind of like, oh, thank you. And she speaks in Choctaw to him, saying, like, hey, they're kind of being flirty. And it was nice. And it showed the grandpa, he's a nice person. Which I liked that. I like the grandpa. He's not my favorite character. I still think actually the uncle is, but oh, actually, there's three positives. Ooh, boy, I was wrong. Um, Later in the episode, Kingpin shows up with both Maya's grandmother and her cousin kidnapped. But when he first shows up, this is like kind of like a very superficial positive, but he was kind of menacing, and it was cool to see him like so menacing. Even the music that was playing, it felt like Michael Myers was about to walk on the scene. Which honestly, that would have been a better episode if he did. But no, that's not what happened. It was just Kingpin, and he was kind of menacing, so it was neat to see, I guess. And then at the very end of the uh, episode, at the end credits scene, it shows Kingpin on his plane back from whatever, after what he just went through, and he turns on the news, and there's no mayor for New York, and they're running for mayor, and they're saying, oh well, the people want somebody like that's not a career politician. They want somebody unique, and you get the sense that, oh, that's going to be Kingpin. Kingpin's going to become the mayor of New York, which I believe did happen in the comics at one point. And Daredevil, it was really hard for him to fight him because, well, we had, it was the mayor, so it's like, well, technically what he's doing was also against the government, but that was neat. It would have been, if it wasn't for what they did in this episode to him, I would say this would be way better, because then they could have like, oh, he could fight with Daredevil, or Spider-Man, who is Kingpin. That's like his original arch nemesis was Spider-Man. And that would have been cool to see, but I don't know, with how they treated him in this, I don't find him as menacing anymore, and he just kind of lost a lot of his shine. But that's what you'll get, I guess, with Disney Marvel. All right, time to get into the negatives. And like I said, there's a lot, and I'm going to be kind of long-winded with each one. I wrote a lot down for each one of them. There's not that many, but they're bad in the whole. It's like a whole scene, so it's a whole scene I got to talk about. So at the beginning, it shows Echo as a child, and she's watching a hummingbird, or not hummingbird, a woodpecker. My bad, it's a woodpecker, and it's sitting on a tree, and she gets out a slingshot and she shoots it. Okay, fine-ish, whatever. That happened, sometimes people hunt them, and honestly, you would hunt small bird with a sling. You could hunt small bird with a slingshot. But then she takes the bird to her mom and goes, "Mom, I need your help. Uh, this bird, it just fell out of the tree." So she's fucking lying about it and saying, "Oh, it's hurt. I want help." And the mom calls her out and's like, it didn't just fall out of the tree, did it?" And then Maya was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to see if I could hit it." Holy shit, that's awful. That's like fucked up, man. Because didn't. That means she knew what she was doing was bad. Like she wasn't supposed to be doing it. And then she went and did it. And then tries to cover it up. And it's like, that's some like serial killer shit. Because it's with an animal. And like, so if you don't know, a lot of the times whenever there's a serial killer, signs that someone could be a serial killer, and this isn't always the case, but signs that they have the mindset of what could become a serial killer is when they're younger, they torture animals. Basically, what she just did is torture this woodpecker because, oh, I just wanted to see if I could hit it. Like a game. Like, holy crap. Either one, her parents are just awful people and basically didn't teach her, like, oh, yeah, don't do that. Or two, she's just like a psychopath and wants to kill animals because, oh, I just wanted to see if I could. That's awful. They made her seem like such a callous, evil kid. And it's like she's always been like this. And like it would make sense throughout the show that she's just so detached and just like evil because like she's just she's just evil. That was awful. And then so the mom's like, "Oh, well, the bird's pretty hurt." And Maya's like, "Can we help fix it?" And Maya's mom apparently has healing hands. How? I don't know. I don't understand how this power works. It's implied that it's like, oh yeah, you get power from your ancestors, so something that they were really good at in the past, and then you can use that power to, uh, you can basically use that proficiency in something, like as if you were just as proficient. Which fine, whatever. I still think her power in the comics was better, but whatever. It's stupid. But her mom has healing hands. What ancestor had fucking healing hands? Like, that's not like oh well, somebody was really good. Like the one it showed, oh, she was just good at this game that they were playing, or like like the rugby game I talked about in, I think it was episode 2 or yeah, episode 2 I believe. Or the one that was really good at shooting a gun. Like nothing like that. No, she's got magical healing hands. It was ridiculous. I was like, how? This power makes no sense. It just does whatever the writers want it to do. It's ridiculous. And then it re-shows the crash that the mom died in and that Maya lost her leg. And I just want to reiterate, that was the dumbest thing ever. I didn't get into it as much when in the first episode when I went over it, but how she loses her leg is just stupid. She has a piece of glass that's like, I don't know, the size of, I'm trying to think. Um about the size of like a typical folder, that you would use for at school or something like that. And it cuts her leg off basically. But the problem is that they're in a car. And you could say, well, it's an older car, so the glass broke like that. But no, it doesn't. Car glass does not break that way. It doesn't break in large chunks. Now, it did break it in like that large of chunks. Because it's too large, it would have shattered more. And instead, it's just like, no, it broke. So basically, what would have had to happen, and if any of you ever watched Nerdrotic or any of them, they brought up this point, and it'd basically be like they would have to have been a two guys walking in the middle of the road with a big glass pane, and that's how the glass got there like that. Because you can even see in the truck it spider webs, or I guess that's not. I'm not remembering if that's the correct term, but basically the glass shatters into tiny pieces, so it would never get that large, and so it's ridiculous. I can't believe that's how they did it. They should have cut away. They should have been like, oh, it shows her in the truck, and you can see it shows the mom, and you can tell she's dead, but then Maya passes out. They shouldn't have shown how her leg got cut off. That was stupid. Um. Well, then it goes over the grandpa thing, and then Maya's grandmother, who I guess is the post office, is a postman, um, a mailman, I guess, or mail woman, fine, whatever. But um, and she runs into Kingpin at the post office. Okay, fine. Maybe he was coming to get her, right? No, no, that's not the case. He just happened to be there and ran into her. And he talks to her because he's like, oh, he notices her necklace that's in sign language saying "I love you." And the grandma says, "Yeah, my daughter was, knew sign language. That's um, but she's passed on by now." And Kingpin opens up like, "Yeah, you know, um, I had family members that died too." And it was just like, what? So he didn't know who this lady was, and the only reason he finds out who she is and then kidnaps her, by the way, is, oh well, she says, oh, and well, I'll still keep it around because my granddaughter speaks, or my granddaughter is deaf too. Her name's Maya. And then he goes, oh, this is her grandmother, and then he kidnaps her. So meaning he just happened to be in the post office, but why? Why was he there? It makes no sense. It literally, the only reason he would be there is for plot, because he had to be there to kidnap the grandmother, which is so dumb. That was that really annoyed me. Then it shows Maya, she was leaving town because she's like, I'm out of here. I don't want to bring trouble to these people. I think I don't actually know why she leaves. She didn't say, but she's leaving and she stops at a freaking Bucky's for all I know. But she stops at a gas station diner place, and before she goes in, she grabs the contact lens that Kingpin gave her that can translate English, or just speaking, into sign language for her, and she throws it away. And why? Why did she throw that away? That was such useful technology in a day-to-day life. Like, yeah, sure, you got it from the Kingpin. Cool. Yeah, he's a bad guy. But that technology was actually useful. Most people don't know sign language in the United States, anywhere. Most people do not know sign language. So having a contact lens that would help you understand people, because she can't read lips apparently, which she should be able to, but she can't. So I mean, that's fine. Some people can't, but she throws away the technology that would have helped her understand people. It's so ridiculous. Just because it's from Kingpin, okay, you can have something from an evil person. Doesn't mean that thing is inherently evil. So, like, an example would be uh, Volkswagen. Volkswagen was commissioned by Funny Mustache Man, if any of you know who that is, in Germany, in charge of Germany in the 1930s and 40s. It was commissioned by him so that they had a reliable car. Doesn't mean Volkswagen is inherently fascist evil. It's ridiculous. Well, then Biscuits messages Maya and he's like, "Hey, have you heard from Grandma or Bonnie? Because oh yeah, apparently Kingpin captured Bonnie. We don't get to see it, so we don't know how he. The only way we would know how he knows is because of the main goon from last time that kidnapped her. But yeah, kidnaps Bonnie, kidnaps Grandma, and Biscuits messages like, "Have you seen them?" And so Maya goes, "Oh, I have a conscience now," and hurries back to town to go save them. Well, Maya gets to Grandma's house, walks in with a gun, sweeping, and then finds the room where the grandma was working on the outfit for her. And she sees a vision of her mom. Okay, fine. Her powers have hinted at that before, that she can see that. But she goes in, her mom is like there, but it's not like a vision. Her mom is actually like there and heals her heart with her healing hands. Isn't that so sweet? And she goes into her mind and she replays the scene again of when she lost her leg, but this time she's an adult and says, "Hey, we're all with you." And then we get confirmation in this scene that, oh yeah, it's only women that can have this power because and this is something I learned more recently. The Choctaw people were matriarchal. Fine. That's why they picked them, by the way, for Maya's background. Maya, from what I understand, Echo is not originally from the Choctaw tribe, but they changed it in this because they're matriarchal, and so it's like that's stupid. They even use a scene earlier in the show where it says, "Oh, men only kill or bring destruction," or something like that. It's along the lines of men only kill and women are life bringers. Or no, it's men are life takers, women are life bringers. And they just, by the way, completely misrepresented that Choctaw saying. That's not what it means, but whatever. But yeah, so they changed Maya to a Choctaw because they're matriarchal. Fine, I guess, whatever. But yeah, they just give proof like, oh, they confirm that, oh yeah, the power is only for women. Cool. Really glad that this power of your ancestors, well, it only has half your ancestors because you know what, the other half doesn't matter apparently. But yeah, only special women get the power. By the way, that's what the mom said. Only special women. But then after that, it implies Maya puts on the costume that the grandmother made, which looks like a mix of like a Native American uh, armor, I would say, like traditional dress and things like that, and like Roman Legion armor. It looks really goofy. It's not. I don't know if it's necessarily bad. You'd have to watch an armor YouTuber for that, or a medieval armor or whatever YouTuber. But it looks goofy. It looks like Roman armor mixed with like motifs of Native American culture. But and then Maya goes to the powwow, the Choctaw powwow, um, and the guards are all also Kingpin brings in like 30 dudes, or no, it was like 30 or 40 dudes to just like take down Maya, and it seemed like he was just gonna massacre everyone at the Choctaw powwow, which is like why? Because she turned you down. Some of these people aren't even related to her. You're just gonna kill all these people? Okay, I guess sure. So yeah, Kingpin just goes full megalomaniac there, but anyway, so Maya is in the middle of like, so they're having like a dance in a circle thing. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it was, it's whatever. And Maya is in plain sight. She's in the middle of a line. So it's like five people in a line and they are following another five people and another five people, give or take. That's how many people are. And it's in this line. She's in the middle and she is a head taller than everyone else and is also not wearing similar clothing as everyone else and doesn't even have her face slightly covered. And none of these guards can see her. None of them. Not a single one. It's like, wow, that's so cool. So glad that these guys are, fucking stupid. They can't see the taller than average Native American woman in the middle with all of the other ones in clothing that's completely different, and also is just having her face completely wide open. They couldn't even like, oh, they couldn't have put like face paint on her. So it's like, oh, look, she's trying to blend in with the thing. No, it's just like, no, it's just Maya, just in this new clothing. That'd be like saying if whenever I put on new clothes, people couldn't recognize me. That'd be stupid. Obviously, yeah, people memed on like the whole Superman with the glasses thing, but like that actually is something where you could mistake somebody because your mind will say, "Oh no, no, that's not them," because they look different enough. Because glasses add something to your face. Whenever you change the face just a little bit, the human mind goes, "Oh, well, that's not the same person. It's someone that looks similar, but not the same person." But with this, it's not even like that. She just is wearing different clothes. But yeah, that was so dumb. And then it gets to the point where I said Kingpin shows up, feels like Michael Myers is showing up. And then uh the uncle is there and he talks to Biscuits. Have you heard of Maya? Heard of Maya? It cuts to them, and he says no. And the uncle's like, okay, well, it's gonna get really bad here. Do you have a weapon? And Biscuits goes, I got something even better. And we'll get to that in a few minutes. But the uncle says, then the uncle hangs up and he gets a gun and he's gonna go shoot Kingpin members if need be. Fine, whatever. Then it cuts back to Maya, and then we have the Kingpin, his guards take her gun away, and they surround her, and he's talking to her, and the cousin is signing and translating for him. Uh, and then the Kingpin men, after talking with a little bit, Kingpin goes, "Oh, and I killed your father," basically confirming that yeah, he never really cared about Maya, whatever. So he just, she was a means to an end, and it's like, okay, cool, really glad. That every time he talks about her, it seems like he does care, but now it's like, no, no, I don't care. Okay. And then one of Kingston men just clocks her in the face, and she gets knocked down, and then one of the goofiest scenes I've seen since another Disney project, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and they have a all the Jedi are in me Rey Palpatine scene. And yes, it is Rey Palpatine. Yeah, I will never accept that she's Rey Skywalker. That's stupid. She's Rey Palpatine. But it has all the Jedi are in me. I am all the Jedi. That moment, and it shows all the ancestors that they've previously shown, including her mother, and they all come into her, and she gets super powers, and she kicks the crap out of the dudes, and then she gives the powers to her cousin and her grandmother, who just kicked the crap out of these Kingpin men. Watching an old lady kick the crap out of these dudes was kind of funny, but like, it's so stupid. They never implied that she could give the powers to other people. Yeah, they are all related, but first off, the grandmother's the only one that we've seen maybe have a connection to the powers. But Bonnie, we've never seen any connection. And then they just like, yeah, she has the power. And they just kick the crap out of these Kingpin men, who have guns, by the way, and could have just shot them. But no, 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 they have to fist fight. Just like every fight scene. If you want them to have a fight scene, don't show that there is a gun there. Because they're not going to fight with hand-to-hand combat. They're going to just shoot you. That's what they're going to do. But yeah, so they kick all the crap out of the Kingpin goons. Kingpin goes to grab Maya and basically like destroy her, and she beats him with her healing hands. She puts the healing hands on his heart, and he just goes, "Ah!" Like he just got freaking hit with a train or something. And then she puts the healing hands on his head, and this is the most destructive thing that I've seen to a character ever. And it is just awful messaging. It was so bad. So it goes back into the past in Kingpin's mind, just like it went back in the past with Maya when Maya's mom did that. And it's to the moment when Kingpin, it's the moment before he goes to kill his dad with the hammer that they show in the last episode, episode 4. And Kingpin is sitting there crying like a blubbering baby, because that's what he was when he was a kid. Fine, whatever. It's goofy to see him that way because it's, grown ass Vincent D'Onofrio who looks like Kingpin. crying. But fine, whatever. I guess that's the idea. They're supposed to be kids, and he's crying and screaming, and it looks really goofy. But we hear Kingpin's dad beating the crap out of his mother on the other side of the wall. Like, it's so bad. We see the wall cracking and like pieces breaking off, and you can hear the dad just like yelling, and like you hear the big like hits, and the whole wall is like shaking and cracking, and Kingpin mom is just screaming basically like, no, don't hit me, and we hear all this, and what does Maya say to him? Like, oh, anything. Why does she say? Oh, she basically says, and I will try to not paraphrase as much. She says, "Oh yeah, it's okay, let go. Don't don't hold on to these feelings, let it go." And it's just like, what? She basically just told him, "Oh, get over it." Yeah, get over it. Yeah, your mom is being beat to death, and that's what traumatized you as a kid. But just get over it. It's all right. So yeah, all you kids, or all you people, I should say, but all you people that grew up and had very abusive fathers that beat their mother and it traumatized you, yeah, just get over it. Don't you know that's really what you can do? You can just get over it, right? Yeah, of course. You can just get over it. It'll be all better. Just get over it. That was the worst messaging or anything I've ever seen in a show, because it basically just says, "Oh yeah, if you had a mother that was abused or even a father that was abused, yeah, just get over it. It'll be all right. Just get over it." You can't do that? I'll just get over it. What a joke. And then it goes out and Kingpin goes, "What did you do? What did you do?" And then runs away. And then he just runs away. And that's the end. That was the whole fight scene, by the way. It was just that. Like a 2-second fight scene. That was the worst thing. It was a total destruction of the Kingpin's character, and then it puts a message out there that, oh yeah, well, if you were traumatized by your father or your mother beating, you know, your mother or father, just get over it. It's okay. What a joke. And yeah, that's everything. That's my review of this episode. Honestly, with the last Kingpin thing there, I will say this is probably the worst episode of television I've ever seen. This was so awful, and the messaging is so destructive. It just basically says, yeah, domestic abuse, just get over it. It's all right. What a joke. So I'm going to go in now into my general review of the show. My general review is that this show is awful. Don't watch it. Don't waste your time. And if you don't have Hulu or Disney Plus, don't waste your money. It's not worth it. It's got terrible messaging. It has a character that I don't care about, the main character I don't care about. Um, it's it's boring. It's awful. I would still say She-Hulk is worse, but this show is really bad. It is really, really bad. Do not watch this show. I'd give this show a 2 out of 10. I know I said some of the episodes were pretty alright, but just after witnessing the whole picture that they were trying to show here, don't watch it. It's not worth it. It's really not. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment. Tell me what I can improve on. I do enjoy the constructive criticism. And as always, subscribe. It really helps out. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm going to try to review more Marvel stuff when it comes out, or just pop culture stuff in general. So thank you.